Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, I too want to thank you for working with many of us on the 40-mile rule to change it from as the crow flies to actual driving distance. Like Senator Capito, I represent a state where as the crow flies and the driving distance are two very different things. But the VA still does not consider whether or not the type of care that the veteran needs is available at a VA facility that is within that 40-mile limit. For example, in Western Maine, there is a VA mobile unit in Bingham, Maine, that operates only 2 days a week. We're glad to have it, but obviously it's nowhere near a full-fledged facility that can provide and meet the needs of our veterans. Now, that means that veterans in Jackman, Maine, could go to a hospital, a local hospital that's 35 miles away, still a distance, but much, much closer than going to the VA hospital for care. Or they could go to the local community health center right there in Jackman to get care if the 40 miles were considered to be measured in terms of whether the service is actually available. The service obviously is not available at a 2-day-a-week mobile clinic. It is available at the community health center and at a hospital that's 35 miles away. But these are not options available to our veterans in this area due to the interpretation of the 40-mile rule. Are you giving any thought to being more flexible in that area as well?
We're in the process of analyzing it and working with members of Congress on what we discover. First of all, the idea that whether or not you can get care from your local facility is actually written into the law. So it's not an interpretation. That was the way the law was written. So if you would like it changed, you need to change the law. Secondly, our initial calculation suggests that if we were to make that change, the minimum increase would be about $10 billion a year. Not over the 3-year period of the Choice Act, but a year. And it could be as high as $40 billion a year if we opened up that capability or that aperture for veterans. So we're in the process of looking at this, and what we want to do is come back to you with the boundaries on what we discovered and what our assumptions were, and have the discussion if that's a law change that you would like to make.
Well, there may be some sort of middle ground here because in the case I gave you where the facility is not even a CBOC, it's a mobile unit that's open only 2 days a week, it just doesn't seem like a reasonable interpretation.
There's a middle ground point that we can take, which is to, in a sense, change the geographic burden to give the Secretary more flexibility to allow people with a geographic burden of some kind to use the choice care, the community care. And that we're also working on, and we'll come back to you with the definition of that and how that will affect and how many people that will affect.
Thank you.